Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Jaya Brajajanaranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Brajajanaranjana Yamunatiravana Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Yamunatiravana Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatir Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Hare Krishna. So we are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, the second last chapter. We are ending the second last chapter in this 5 chapters known as Rasa Panchadhyayi. We will be reading the last 2 shlokas. Evam mad artho jihitaloka veda swanam hivo mai anuvartya balaha maya paroksham bhajata tirohitam Masuyetum marhat tat priyam priyaha. Translation by the disciples of His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear girls, understanding that simply for my sake you had rejected the authority of worldly opinion, of the Vedas and of your relatives, I acted as I did only to increase your attachment to me. Even when I removed myself from your sight by suddenly disappearing, I never stopped loving you. Therefore, my beloved gopis, please do not harbor any bad feelings towards me, your beloved. Purport. Here the Lord indicates that though the gopis were already perfect in their love for him, still to inconceivably increase their perfection and show an example for the world, he acted as he did. Going to the next shloka. Na parayeham niravadyam samyujam swasadhu kratyam vibudhayusha pivaha yama bhajan durajar geha shankhala samavrashya tadva pratiyatu sadhuna. Translation. I'm not able to repay my debt for your spotless service, even within a lifetime of Brahma. Your connection with me is beyond reproach. You have worshipped me, cutting off all domestic ties, which are difficult to break. Therefore, please let your own glorious deeds be your compensation. Purport. The translation and the word meanings for this verse are taken from Srila Prabhupada's English rendering of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, 4th chapter, verse 180. In conclusion, the gopis became eternally glorious by their behavior in the Lord's temporary absence. And the mutual love between them and the Lord was wonderfully enhanced. This is the perfection of Krishna and his loving devotees. Thus ends the purports of the humble servants of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada to the 10th canto, 32nd chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Reunion. Om Agyantimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dati Swapadantikam Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama. Seeking the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas who are tuning in from the Bhakti Center and everywhere else. Please bless me so that we can glorify Krishna and his devotees and use this time to increase our attachment, our practice of this wonderful path. So before we begin the discussion, I would like to read the summary of this chapter titled The Reunion. This chapter describes how Sri Krishna manifested himself in the midst of the gopis, who had become extremely disturbed by their separation from him. After he consoled them, they expressed to him their deep feelings of ecstasy. The gopis, having shown in various ways their great eagerness to see Krishna, the attractor of Cupid, he appeared before them wearing silken yellow garments and a beautiful flower garland. Some of the gopis, overwhelmed with ecstasy at seeing him, grasped his hands, others placed his arms on their shoulders, and others accepted the remnants of the betel nut he had chewed. Thus they served him. One gopi, impelled by loving anger toward Krishna, bit her lip and looked askance at him. Because the gopis were so attached to Krishna, they were not satiated even by continuously gazing at him. One of them then placed Krishna within her heart, closed her eyes, and embracing him within herself again and again, became absorbed in the transcendental bliss. Thus, like a yogi, in this way, the pain the gopis had felt because of separation from the Lord was dispelled. Next, Lord Krishna went to the bank of Yamuna in the company of the cowherd girls, his eternal potencies. The gopis then made a seat for Krishna out of their shawls. And after he had sat down, thus enjoyed with him by gesturing amorously. The gopis still felt hurt that Krishna had disappeared. So he explained to them why he had done so. he further told them that he had come under the exclusive control of their loving devotion and would ever remain indebted to them. I'm reading the translations again. My dear girls, understanding that simply for my sake you had rejected the authority of worldly opinion, of the Vedas and of your relatives, I acted as I did only to increase your attachment to me. Even when I removed myself from your sight by suddenly disappearing, I never stopped loving you. Therefore, my beloved gopis, please do not harbor any bad feelings toward me, your beloved. The next shloka. I am not able to repay my debt for your spotless service, even within a lifetime of Brahma. Your connection with me is beyond reapproach. You have worshipped me, cutting off all domestic ties, which are difficult to break. Therefore, please let your own glorious deeds be your compensation. So, we are basically here in this chapter understanding all this loving emotions, exchanges going on between our dear Lord Krishna and his topmost devotees, the gopis. Why the love of the gopis is so paramount? Why there are so many other devotees. There is if you read, there is Arjun in the Bhagavad Gita. Arjun is a devotee of Krishna. Krishna says, I am giving you the Bhagavad Gita because you are my devotee. There is Bhishma, who is in Mahabharata so devout to Krishna. At the end of his, he's waiting before he dies so that he can see Krishna and leave his body. There is Narad Muni. There are so many devotees. There is Lord Shiva. So many devotees of Lord Krishna. And still, whenever we come and whenever we discuss of the topmost love, always the topic of the gopis come into the picture. And we all read the commentaries of the acharyas, Srila Prabhupada, how the gopis are the topmost devotees. And we should follow in the footsteps of the gopis. Gopi bhartur pad kamalayo das das das. We aspire to become the servant of the servant of the servant. And who are these servants basically? This is Srimati Radharani serving Murlidhar. And then Radharani is assisted by gopis and they are assisted by another gopis and those gopis are assisted by another gopis, set of gopis. And then we want to become the servant of the servant of the servant in that lineage. We can see that not only the acharyas and Srila Prabhupada now are accepting gopis, but I was just thinking that even when Bhishma Dev was dying on the bed of arrows after the battle of Mahabharata, when Krishna was present physically amongst the people of that time, Bhishma Dev remembers and glorifies Arjun. Bhishma Dev glorifies Krishna. And Bhishma Dev then also remembers the gopis. Because Krishna is Achyut. Recently we were reading in Bhagavad Gita. And the first time Sanjay refers to Krishna, or Arjun actually refers to Krishna. He uses the word Achyut, the infallible one in the first chapter. Why? Because Krishna never fails his devotees. And Krishna goes to any extent to serve his devotees. And there is nothing makes the Lord more satisfied to hear the glories of his devotees. So that's why Bhishma Dev is glorifying. So he does not only glorify the acts of Arjun, he also glorifies the gopis. And he says that the love of the gopis or the bhakti of the gopis, it cannot be compared to anyone. Because in love, the lover and the beloved, they become identical. And they are in the same footing. So there are all sorts of devotees. And the Lord is unlimited. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetnanam. The Lord is unlimited. And he has unlimited potencies. So if someone has some strength and they want to play with the Lord, yes, the Lord will give a good match and both of them would be very happy. But the Lord is all powerful. No one can ever match his strength. But when it comes to love, the gopis and Krishna, they are in the same footing. And that is what Krishna enjoys the most. So Srila Prabhupada basically also mentions that why the method invented by the gopis is the best. It is the best because gopis, they were always Krishna conscious. They were always absorbed in Krishna. And at the same time, they were not seeking any kind of material profit. So this is the most important aspect here. That they are not expecting anything from return, anything in return from Krishna. Their bhav, their mind is, Krishna, we have done so much for you. And we want to do more for you. Not that now because we have done so much for you, you can give us this thing, you can give us that thing. Their bhav is, the first class worship is, as Srila Prabhupada says, that Krishna, you take whatever you like from us, but we do not want to take anything from you. And we don't want to take anything and we don't have any need. We are just very happy serving you. We have got everything to give you and we have no need to ask anything from you. So generally in Bhagavad Gita, we see Krishna says 4 kinds of people come to Krishna. Artho, Artharthi, Jigyasu, and Jnani. Artho or Artho basically means people who have some problem which they are facing, some difficulty, like a disease, and they want relief from that particular problem. They are distressed. They want relief from that distress. Artharthi are the people who are in need of money. They have a lot of desires. And people generally go to holy places. They go to saints to get benedictions, to get blessings, to either get relief from the suffering they are having or to get more money and more material things in life. And then there are other 2 classes, Jigyasu and Jnani. Jnani is the one who is in pure knowledge or after pure knowledge. And Jigyasu is the one who is inquisitive on what's this reality? Why am I suffering? What's the purpose of my life? What's the nature of God? Who is God? What's my relationship with God? That's Jigyasu. But as per Srila Prabhupada, they are not the highest types of devotees. The higher one, there's a higher section, and that is known as bhaktas. And these bhaktas are higher because they love Krishna without seeking anything in return. So, Artho, Artharthi, Jigyasu, Jnani, Bhakta is above that. Because they are not coming to Krishna. Bhakta is not coming to Krishna for any material gain. Even when you meditate on the 9 processes of bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam, then you would see that Shravanam is that we chant, we are hearing the glories of the Lord. Kirtanam, we are chanting the glories of the Lord. Smaranam is that we are remembering the Lord. Pada Sevanam is we are worshipping the feet of the Lord. We are doing seva. Archanam, we do deity worship. Vandanam, we are offering prayers to the Lord. Dasyam, we are acting as a servant. Sakhyam, we are in friendship with the Lord. And Atma Nivedanam, that we have given up everything for the Lord. So it is said that one who has dedicated his life in serving Krishna through these 9 ways, they are understood to be most learned people. And gopis are the ones who have perfected all of them. And not only have they perfected all of them, there is not even single tinge of any expectation They are so much so in pure devotion that they don't see Krishna as God. For them, just to love Krishna and just to serve Krishna is their only business. They just want to be absorbed in Krishna. It's not that they have not seen Krishna do wonderful things in Vrindavan. Mother Yashoda has seen the whole universe inside the mouth of Krishna. Gopis have seen wonderful activities. We sing this song, Jaya Radha Madhava, Kunja Bihari, Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivar. Gopis have seen that Krishna is Girivar. Girivardhari. He is he held the hill, Govardhan hill, for such a long time, 7 days. But still, gopis are not interested in that. Their only interest is, how can we satisfy Krishna? How can we make Krishna? And if you see, this love can be compared to the love which a mother has for her child. But this one is even higher than that. Why this is higher than that? Because if you see in both the shlokas, again and again, Krishna is mentioned, because this is Sri Bhagavan Uvacha himself. Krishna is here speaking directly, that simply for my sake, you have rejected the authority of worldly opinion. You have rejected what people think about you or how they judge you. You have rejected your relatives. And relatives, I mean, not just cousins and far off friends and extended family. Gopis basically rejected anything and everything they were doing when they heard the sound of the flute that Krishna was calling. If they were breastfeeding their child, they kept the child aside. If they were cooking for their family, they stopped the cooking. If they were doing anything, whatever they were doing, they stopped and they just dropped it there and they just ran towards Krishna. And that's why in the next shloka, Krishna is saying that you have worshipped me, cutting off all domestic ties, which are difficult to break. Krishna is saying they are very difficult to break. Sometimes our ties are to the various people who are around us. Sometimes the ties are the ties of duty. I'm here, I need to do this, I need to do that. This is my duty. My duty is to be a good citizen. My duty is to be a good son, daughter, or husband, or spouse, wife. Krishna is saying, you have worshipped me, cutting off all domestic ties. So what we hear from Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityaja, that you give up all varieties of religion. Gopis are actually embodiment of that. They have given up everything. They don't understand anything. If you go to Vrindavan, there are jokes actually around this. That one gopi is basically saying that she's doing something, and in that time Narad Muni comes and Narad Muni says, my dear Gopi, what are you trying to do? And she was churning butter. And then she's saying, oh, I'm trying very hard not to think of Shyam Sundar. I'm trying very hard not to think of Krishna. And Narad Muni, why you say that? And she's like, I just can't focus on anything. I want to make this butter ready for Krishna to come and take it. But then I'm just so absorbed. As soon as I'm churning butter, I just see Krishna running towards me and stealing this butter. But the butter is not ready yet. So I just want to forget Krishna. That's what Gopi is meditating. But ultimately she's remembering Krishna. So such an absorption. There is another place where Narad Muni goes and two gopis are talking. And this one gopi says, hey, I'm selling my sleep. Would you like to buy my sleep? And the other gopi says, yes, 100%. I would like to buy your sleep. And both of them then are talking. And then Narad Muni comes and he says, what's going on? Well, you want to sell your sleep and you want to buy her sleep? And how even you do that? And first of all, why you want to do this? And this gopi says, oh, I just want to do so many things for Krishna. And this sleep comes and it basically steals away all the time which I have for Krishna. So I don't want this sleep anymore. I want to give up this sleep. And the Narad Muni sees the other gopi that you don't want to do so many things for Krishna. And the other gopi says, no, actually, I met Krishna. And he said that today he would not be able to come in person with me, but he would come in my dreams. So I want to just sleep all the time so I can just see Krishna in my dreams. So this is the general conversation. They're always singing the glories of Krishna. And that's why we are singing their glories. When we sing this song, Jaya Radha Madhava, we directly enter Vrindavan. So we do this Bhagavatam, or we do any katha, we always sing this Jaya Radha Madhava. And immediately the first thing is Radha, who is, the word comes from Aradhita, the expert. Aradhana is worship, and Aradhita, the expert worshipper. So Radharani is the expert worshipper of Krishna. Gopis are all her associates. And Madhava, we were reading Bhagavad Gita recently, and this is the first time Krishna is mentioned. This is the name of Krishna. First name of Krishna mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Ma means mother, Dhava is husband. So he's referred as the husband of the original mother. That is Srimati Radharani, Madhava. So the connection of the gopis is so strong. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, you start reading. If you go into the depth, you see that it's there everywhere. And then the second line is Gopijana Vallabha. Krishna is always giving, Vallabha means pleasure, to the Gopijana, to the gopis. And then his Leelas are there. He's Girivardhari, he's Yashodanandan, he is the son of Yashoda. And Brajajana Ranjan. Ranjan means, again, pleasure or entertainment. And he's always giving happiness. Ranjan also can be said that he's bringing happiness to Brajajana, the people of Vrindavan. Again, they are the gopis. This is all gopis everywhere. And we have to understand that love, when it is pure, there is no expectation. But the love in this world generally always has expectation. And that's either it is lust or it has tinges of lust. Lust means, in this context, that I want to enjoy. It's about my enjoyment. There is selfish interest. So as soon as those interests are met or those interests are not met, my love will change. Either it would become into pure lust or greed, that I want to enjoy more and more, or it would become into anger because of frustration of not meeting the expectation. But the nature of true love, which is here, if you see, the gopis are still hurt. And we read the whole summary, and there also Krishna has left them. Krishna came back, and they are serving Krishna. They're hurt, but they're serving Krishna, and they're showing him with so many verbal and non-verbal and in so many ways that how much they love Krishna. The nature of love is it is ever increasing. Love constantly grows like the waxing moon. The only thing is there is never a full moon. So there is never a point where one can say that my love is. And this kind of love which we are talking here is the love which a jiva can develop or already has, just doesn't know, for God, for Krishna. So this English language is not enough. Our acharyas have given so many different explanations, and have explained so many different types of love. So this we have to understand what this love is, and then we can maybe try to understand who the gopis are. And yes, I'm pretty sure that you may have heard the story of how once Krishna in Dwarka, he gets a headache. And then at that time also, he was in a conversation where some devotees were asking him that who are your best devotees? And that time he gets a headache, and he says, in order for me to be relieved from this headache, I need the dust of the feet of my devotees. And No one in Dwarka and other places were ready to give him their dust of the lotus, because they said we would suffer in hell. And then this news goes to the gopis, and gopis were immediately ready. They don't care whether they suffer in hell. They don't care where they are. Whether they are in this world, there is no point of whether we are in back to God or we are not in back to God. We are in this material, we are rotting in hell, wherever we are. The mood of the gopis is, can I be of any service to Krishna? So, and this love only develops in the heart of those, as Krishna is mentioning, those who have become detached. So it's not one part that there is only detachment, but there is attachment. So when I'm talking about love, that is attachment. So as a practicing devotee, we have to develop detachment from this world. Doesn't mean that we have to be irresponsible for various things which are entrusted in our care. But at the same time, we have to develop attachment to Krishna and see whatever we have is basically given by Krishna, so we can serve Krishna. This kind of love is beyond the three gunas. It's untainted by any desire. It's constantly growing. It's ceaseless in flow. At the same time, it is super subtle. And this is something which no matter how much time we sit and we talk, only we can understand this only by experience. And a devotee who attains this kind of love, he's only hearing about his beloved or seeing his beloved, thinking about that beloved, whether that person is alone or with so many people. And what I just explained is the definition of love given in the Bhakti Sutra. So I will end the discussion today with this small prayer which Srila Prabhupada also used to relish a lot. He has quoted, which says, Krishna tvadiya padapankaja panjaranta adyaiva ve vishatuman me manasaraja hamsa prana prayana samaye kafvat pittaye kanthavarodhan vidhau smaranam kutaste. And this prayer is by Kulashekara. And it says, my dear Lord Krishna, I pray that the swan of my mind may immediately sink down to the stems of the lotus feet of your Lordship and be locked in their network. So if you see there is a lotus, then it's like the stem which is coming up all the way to the top of the surface of the water. And the lotus is there. So the swan, mind is like a swan here. And he wants that, may I be locked in that network of that stem, my neck. And then Kulshekara say, otherwise at the time of my final breath, when my throat is choked up with cough. So kapha vata pitta, that is what this body is. The time of that is a very gruesome time. It's unbearable pain. And Kulashekara is saying, when my throat will be choked with cough, when I'll be in unlimited pain, how will it be possible of me to think of you? So let me now only, as now I'm remembering you, my dear Lord. Take my final. So he's saying, Krishna, this is the time. I'm healthy now. I'm in good health. Let me die immediately thinking of you. Because my whole purpose is to think of you, of your pastimes at the time. And this is the process given to us by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it's very, very difficult to actually understand these esoteric pastimes of Sri Krishna with his most intimate devotees, the gopis. That's why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in this world to basically show us that we can be a part of those most intimate pastimes. We at our level, it's very difficult that we can imagine that, oh, I'm going to enter the groves of Vrindavan and be in a Rasa Leela, Rasa dance with Lord Krishna. But it's very easy for us when we see devotees who are chanting on the streets or doing Harinam Sankirtan in the temple or any other place. We can enter that. And that is the Ras Leela which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving us an opportunity to be a part of. He is basically breaking open the treasure of love of Krishna, direct way to Golok Vrindavan by being a part of this Sankirtan. Literal Sankirtan and this Sankirtan movement. This wonderful society created by Srila Prabhupada. So with this, I conclude the little monologue I had. I didn't know what to say, what not to say. It is a very high subject. So please forgive me for anything I've said. And yes, we can discuss. Please share your comments, thoughts, if there are any questions.
Thank you, Karuna Nimai Prabhu. Thanks for making it so relatable. This gopi, the subject of the love of the gopis, is certainly very elevated. But you broke it up for us so nicely, and drew the line between where we are at and where the gopis are. Thank you, and how to get there. Thank you. Jamuna Jaya has her hand up, has her smile on. There comes the smile.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Karuna Nimai. Wonderful class. I was just, that prayer of the swan of the mind always has touched my heart. And this year I've become to be a caregiver of a relative who has lost their mental faculties. And so I think about that a lot. And I've really been thinking lately about, in the Gita, Krishna says, for me, come remembrance and forgetfulness. And I've really been relishing the gift of remembrance. And seeing this family member, they couldn't, even if they wanted to, get that kind of remembrance. So that verse is really, thank you for reminding us of it, because it just was really reminding me that it is a gift to be able to remember. It's a gift to be able to have the mental faculties to hear these classes and to take it in and to develop this love of Krishna, because I can. And I'm watching this person who simply can't even remember how to say their name anymore. So thank you so much for this, remembering us, that Krishna gives us the remembrance. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for making us grateful, Jamuna Jaya.
Thank you. Thank you, dear devotees, for, it's Sunday, but you're here in this class. You brought your mental faculties to this class while you still have them. So that's a very good investment. Thank you for that. Okay, who wants to contribute? Garashan Prabhu is laughing. Good. Okay. Adipusha Prabhu, temple room. Anybody in the temple room? Unmute yourself. Unmute.
Hello, Hare Krishna. Jamuna Jaya's share about a relative who was in the later stages of their life, and they had some difficulty with memory. We had a guest from London, a disciple of Tamal Krishna Maharaj, elderly lady, and she told us that her husband had Alzheimer's. How do you say it? Alzheimer's? Yeah, and he couldn't remember her. She would go to see him, and he didn't really recognize her. But she said when I would chant Hare Krishna with him, he would chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. So Krishna, in that case, was so kind that even though other things he wasn't able to retain mental grasp of other things, he remembered the Hare Krishna mantra, and he would chant with his wife. And she said then right till his last day, she would go to visit him and they would chant together. And Prabhupada told us, I'm here in Vrindavan, and all these other personalities, it's just a list of names. All these other people that were prominent in my life to one degree or another, it's just an empty list of names. And now I know what is real is eternal, and what's real is my dedication to pleasing Krishna by giving Krishna consciousness to others. So we're hearing about this selfless love of the gopis, and we also see that in the spiritual master. I love you for you, not I love you for what I can get from you. And so we're also called to that, our normal, healthy condition as loving beings, to love Krishna unconditionally and to love everyone else unconditionally, and actually not want anything from anybody, to be totally satisfied in devotional service, and to just give and give. We have so much to give. Srila Prabhupada's given us so much. And even this morning, I have an all-night shift at the guest program, and I was leaving there at 5:30 this morning, and I was coming down the stairs carrying some things, and one of the guests, a girl named Sally, from Australia, "Can I help you? Can I help you?" I said, "Okay." So she helped me carry some stuff down the stairs, and she said to me, "You know, a few days ago when I checked in here, you said to me, 'All right, we're going to say a prayer that we remember that we have a choice to give our whole life to the service of God.' Good idea, right?" And she said, "Now, I've been here a few days. I just can't remember that. I can't forget that I have a choice to give my whole life. What can I do? What can I do?" I said, this is 5:30 in the morning. I said, "Well, tomorrow you can come and help to distribute Krishna's prasadam, to feeding the homeless people in the street as a service to the Lord. I'm coming. I'll do it." So we have a life of devotional service, and we have an opportunity to include other people, and that's very pleasing to Krishna. And it's not like we're trying to get anybody to do stuff. We're just trying to give them a chance to serve and to be satisfied in devotional service. Anyway, a little bit of a rambling share, but that's what I have to share. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Yeah, look how happy we are. And somebody took the time to share that with us. It was worth it.
Yeah.
Look at Krishnadaya, Bhakta Billy. Look at them. Yeah. Krishnadaya, would you like to say something?
Bhima Prabhu has his hand raised.
Oh, Bhima, yeah.
No, let Krishna Daya speak first.
Yeah, I was just about to. It's like connecting today's verse. Thank you, Karuna Nimai Prabhu, for the wonderful class. Adipurush Prabhu was saying about the service attitude that sprang in the Sally's heart. So similarly, so the service itself gives the topmost happiness. Even Krishna is also telling, what max I can give you. Just be happy in the service, your own great deeds. So that's what, you see, Adipurush Prabhu just inspired her, and then she was, ready to do the seva. So it's so great. Thank you, Adipurush Prabhu. Yeah.
Thank you, Krishnadaya. Bhima Prabhu.
Haribo, did you just call me? Hello?
It's
Hare Krishna?
Darshan time. Yeah.
Oh.
Kurukshetra.
Oh.
Yathastam Bhagavatam Samasitam Rudasundana Ananda Prakoti Brahmanida Visheshashoka Govinda Hari Purusha Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Hari Purusha Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Hari Purusha Tamaham Bhajami Anjali Sakale Priya Viti Mari Prasyanti Panditayanti Sirantayanti Anadashimaya Sadhu Vala Vigrahya Govinda Hari Purusha Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Hari Purusha Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Hari Purusha Tamaham Bhajami. Hari Bol. Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, welcome to the Afterglow, Bhima Prabhu. Karuna Nimai is gone, so who's the next senior devotee here? You'll have to answer your own question, Bhima Prabhu.
Hi, Haribol, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Headed off the tractor here. I don't have any questions because I know everything. So at least I tell the grass that as I'm mowing it. I'm God here. I just wanted to say that we all have unique ways in which we can serve at every moment of the day. Adi has the Prashadam, the food relief program, and we have within the same building a program where every guest that we have, at least those who stay 2 days or more, get a T-shirt that says "All you need is love."
T-shirt
on it,
relief.
What's that?
T-shirt relief program.
Yeah, T-shirt relief program, right? Tourniquet for the body. It says "All you need is love," and then it has URLs or links along the side, very small, but definitely something that somebody would be intrigued with looking up. 3 links. One would be the Adi's program, food relief program. The other one, the Bhakti Center, and another one, Wisdom of the Sages, with another connection. Soon we're going to have printed on there to Veda Base, and so that these people get a nice T-shirt. They love it because they feel like when we hear these this reading of the gopis, wanting above all this relationship of love, that ultimately the spirit is most satisfied and always looking for love, that relationship of love. We're never happy unless we have it. Even the animals are that way. That they have a family or a home to come home to, and some sort of like connection to another spirit soul. And so the gopis, of course, have chosen Krishna, and we here in this world have each other as devotees, that we can always serve each other, that we're not truly servants of God, that we really, at this stage, because we're not liberated, we really can't serve Krishna directly because we have ulterior motives. If we're honest, we all do. But we can serve each other, and we can even serve those people, whether they be homeless in the streets or guests who get these T-shirts that say "All you need is love." And we have a host, Ravi, who's an unbelievable devotee, who takes a selfie with everyone he gives a t-shirt to, and the smile on their faces is just so sincere. They're so happy to get this t-shirt that says all you need is love, because everybody knows that that is one of the greatest truths, if not the greatest truth, for all of us, whether we be gopis or dacoits here in the material world, that all we need is love, and that our chance to serve others with this love is present before us at all times. So I just thought I'd get that out there. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Bhima Prabhu. This is our Rasalila. We're holding hands with homeless people. We're all wearing t-shirts with links. And we're all dancing for Krishna. Ananda Loka.
Yeah, I just wanted to make one quick point. As far as remembering Krishna, because, every time I step out the door and hit the streets, that challenge of remembering Krishna smacks you right in the face, because there's just so much going on. For me, I always have my clicker. So whenever I'm walking, wherever I'm in the train station or I'm on the ferry or wherever I'm going, I always have the clicker. But I think that I wanted to just hit that point of remembrance, because Prabhupada said also at any moment, we have no, idea of when the moment of death is going to come and approach us. We have to be prepared for it. So, constantly remembering Krishna. How do we do that when we go outside and there's this tremendous amount of distractions, So it just hearing that very nice verse, it just really hits home to me that how I have to make an extra effort. So even every time I'm walking out the door, and I'm getting ready to do that right now, is I'm stepping out and I'm remembering Krishna. So that's my comment. I don't know if you got it.
Thank you for this wonderful reflection. It says in the Shastra, when we, for whatever reason, lose the ability to remember Krishna, and at the crucial moment of death, Krishna will personally step in and help us, give us remembrance.
Yeah, I just slammed right against the wall.
Loka is in ecstasy. Okay. Okay. Noise. Okay. Well, yeah, we did it, dear devotees. Thank you so much. Wonderful class by Karuna Nimai. Wonderful points about remembering Krishna. Yeah. Yeah, it's such an inspiration to have devotees like Bhima Prabhu, Ananda Loka, Prabhu Adipusha Prabhu. They're living examples of how to remember Krishna through thick and thin. Life will happen to us. Life will happen. And the challenge is whether we are remembering Krishna or we just get swept away by what life throws at us. And life will throw things. Okay, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, it's a wonderful Sunday. Go to the temple, dance for Krishna, hold hands with other devotees, serve them, take prasadam to full satisfaction, like Adi, and come again tomorrow. Srimad Bhagavatam never ends. Hare Krishna. Bye-bye.